Hi everyone. Hi Penny. You are a very, very, very precious, precious child. My child. Okay. All right, let's pick this one. I know that we're getting down to some that I have not. Okay. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Suicide. First of all, suicide, first of all, is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. I'm never gonna necessarily say, yeah, go freaking do it. But also sometimes, I have been in such an absolutely deep, dark, hopeless place that I for realsies, have not wanted to be here anymore. And for realsies felt like if I just didn't wake up or wasn't here anymore, that it would be better and easier for everyone around. I mean, sometimes here's the thing, when you are struggling with a mental and emotional problem, or depression, or any dark negative thoughts, for real, once I get going down that spiral, even still, I mean, just not that long ago, I mean, this is kind of hard for me to even admit, there was a little time not too long ago where I just kind of looked around and saw crap that was going on, and then got extremely discouraged because I have several beliefs that I feel very strongly about that necessarily aren't necessarily the societal norm right now that's going on. And I was just well, if everybody else is doing this, but I cannot get my head wrapped around doing it too, and then if this is the way that I think, nobody's, I literally, there's no one that is gonna be able to see this my way, and I know from experience, when I was younger, and I was going through things in my family life that were extremely hard for me to comprehend and deal with, and that I'm such a sensitive person, and I am such a I'm so just care too much, and if people don't understand how I process my emotions, and I don't even know if I understood how to process my emotions, and then if those things are not things that are easy for anyone to talk about, let alone me talk about that, or feeling like I really truly had nobody to even turn to or even talk about it, because it's I think that sometimes you just need You need somebody to like agree with you. And I feel like sometimes, like in this world that we live in, it's so hard to find somebody that like agrees with you on so many different levels. I do believe that we are constantly changing and learning and growing, and you know, you can always turn that negative thing around onto a positive thing. But like sometimes it's just like you feel like there's 1,000 things coming at you, and then like if you're not learning how to deal with your emotions appropriately, and you are using inappropriate coping mechanisms such as, you know, drinking, smoking, cutting, sex, if you're looking outside of yourself for any of this relief. Now, sometimes I'm gonna say that I've needed to like taper myself off of certain things in order to be like okay, and to get myself to a point where I was okay. But like I think that sometimes people just get so caught up in everything that's going on that they just feel so overwhelmed, and they just don't feel like there's anything that they are going to be able to do. But here's like, if you give up hope, if you give up hope, and if you don't feel like you're worth living anymore, and like that you just don't feel like people like love you or accept you or care about you, or that what you're doing in your day-to-day life is like just not even worth it, and that you know what you would need to do in order to feel better, and like it's just like such like a daunting task. I do understand why people do it, and in those cases, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna judge people if that's what they've done and if that's what they've chosen, and I'm not gonna get upset with them. To me, it's kind of like they do say that it's selfish, but in a way, like if people don't understand the level of that person's pain, that they would get to that point that they would do that, then I would say feel lucky that you've never felt that way. Because for me, like, to see someone that has done that and they have like children, or like a wife or a husband, or like a community that like loves them, and like they got to that point where they felt like so hopeless that that was like their only option. That's very, very sad. And here's the other thing too. So many people, I think, are very, very, very good at hiding if they're okay or not. Like people pretend to be happy. You know what I mean? I feel like people put on like a brave face, but people that like admit that they're like depressed and stuff like that, if you were happy, like you wouldn't admit that you were depressed or suicidal or thought about it or anything like that. Like why if you were happy and content, like why would you ever like make that up? Like there's other things right now that I'm kind of like going through in my own life and in my own identity, and how like I view myself. And if I don't accept those things on my terms, like within me, it's literally going to like eat me alive. And I'm very fortunate that I do have a few people in my life that I can like talk to about things, to where I feel like they're not gonna like judge me or make me feel bad about stuff or anything. And like here's the thing too, like when you're like scolding someone and you're arguing and like you're just like fighting them on things, like it's not constructive. It is not constructive. If you are not coming from a place of love and understanding and acceptance, and like literally like trying to put yourself in their shoes, you really, in my opinion, you need to like become like a better person, because life and time is like the only thing that like you can't get back. You know what I mean? You can't really change your past. And where you are at right now is where you are at right now. I feel like it is completely valid to have whatever feelings that you have. But like honestly, like there have been times where like I did not know what I was gonna do, and I just fully held on for like one more day. And something happened. Something good happened. And I didn't need to feel like that anymore. So kind of all that I can say is it's always you, and it's always like up to you. You know, nobody is a lost freaking cause, like really honest to God. But you have got to be honest with yourself, and you have got to reach out and like ask for help, because there are people out there that do love you and care about you, and would do anything to help you. And nobody is ever alone, no matter how lonely we feel, you know, and no matter how like separate we feel from other people. I don't feel like there's ever something like so bad that that deserves you taking your own life.